would be. Yeah, you would be correct. This is going to be Log versus Smart AI. Are they in tiebreaker? Okay, no, they won't be tiebreaker in 12 minutes. So it has been 12 minutes. So probably around the third, fourth pick, I would say. So we're just gonna have to see what information is provided to us.
And we're actually not too late, so we're gonna get to see the whole match.
Yep. So we're actually just heading into the bans now. That's why I'm gonna be going for the Rise 2 ban. It's actually second time we have seen the Rise 2 ban. Again, the broken jumpstream pick.
Indeed.
So okay, no, Smart AI protected LN2, Log did protect, Rice 3 actually. So that's what we are seeing. Log is actually going to be banning Hybrid 1 as well. I'm not too familiar with these players, but I can get a look into two of their kind of soon. All I know is that Smart AI, I do believe it's one of the hubs for Scooby Maniac.
Indeed. Though I'm quite surprised by Log's ban, as we usually do see bans on one-sided maps, so either Rice or LM. So maybe Log does struggle with this map particularly, I don't know.
Well, kind of what we have been seeing from Log, from last week's technical hybrid, they seeded 25th out of 30 people. So maybe they might not be really too confident on some more of the technical picks.
And Log actually going to pick Hybrid 2. So
He said he meant LN4.
Oh.
Okay. So, kind of just heading back into things now. Smart AI did get a win by default last week. I do believe that their opponent did just forfeited. Or I don't know, not too sure. And Log, I am pretty sure last week won against okay, they won against I actually can't find it. Well no.
This is actually the quest to find out who the fuck did Log beat.
No, they lost last week against Area. It was seed 3 and 5-1. So actually, we were just talking about this map, Hybrid 3. Not Hybrid 3, Hybrid 2. Okay, so just for anyone who has turned in to this, Hybrid 2 is kind of more of a consistency hybrid pick. It is going to be kind of more balanced for the Rice and LNs. Just going to take a few LN bursts, and there is kind of a jump trail near the middle that could catch a few flares off. But outside of that, it's just more of a consistency pick. Would expect to see 2 full combos here, but it's just going to be more accuracy that will decide.
Indeed. We're still in the kind of early stages of this tournament. We're not quite yet in the later stages, but we're getting there soon. Like, this is soon quarterfinals, and we often see quarterfinals as that kind of middle stage round where the maps are kind of between the early and the late stages. So we're getting closer to that.
I do believe we're getting kind of more into that transition from early game to mid game. So I do believe physicality and more release fundamentals will kind of take more into account in some of these picks. Not too yet. Again, as we are seeing some picks like this, maybe even Rice 1, are kind of more hindering towards, I would say, the early game side. But then we have picks like We do have some picks like Rice 2, Rice 3, and maybe
Rice 6.
even... Yep, Rice 6. Definitely Rice 6.
The Rice
Log
6
actually
is
finding a miss.
the Rice 6 is kind of, I mean, it is a round of 16 map, though. This is maybe more of a quarterfinals map difficulty pick.
I would say around there. Log actually finding a miss on that LN. On that kind of short LN jump trill. Again, definitely probably the spot where a lot of players might be prone to missing, especially if you're sight reading this. But since Log did catch up back to that 400 max combo cap, I won't be surprised if the score does start flickering back towards him. Especially that smart AI is dropping, I'd say, a fair amount of 200s from early releases.
Though it
But
is
the
actually
scores
very,
are very
very close.
now. The scores are
This
very
is very
close.
connected, though I do think Log is climbing the accuracy, so yes, this is for Logs.
He just about recovered from that. He just about recovered from that miss. If it was a bit later, we could have seen a difference. But for now, again, very impressive scores from both players. Smart AI getting that full combo, but it's still really just going to be more that 200 count. And that ratio difference is
Indeed,
pretty
especially
significant
that
as well.
ratio.
You would be right
Though
saying
this
that.
is Logs pick, so this is actually up to Smart AI to pick, so maybe he does have a chance in his own pick.
Actually, kind of seeing from Smart AI scores as well. They are fairly prominent in LN and Hybrid compared to their Rice as well. From as we have seen from round 64, they were mostly bottom seeding in Rice, but they were really more higher seeded in the Hybrid and LN. So it's just going to be more about what they're fairly comfortable with. Maybe we could see Log be more oriented towards the Rice, maybe a bit later. But both
Indeed.
these players are fairly known for their LNs, so
And
just gonna
as
be
you say
more
that,
on what they're comfortable.
they're gonna pick Hybrid 3. So actually both hybrids are gonna be picked right away. That's something we don't see often in matches. So we'll have to wait and see. And right away, damn, I don't think I've seen a map start this quickly.
They definitely just want to get into things, I would say. Just get the things out the way, really. So this is our hybrid 3. I do believe this is a rank map as well, and there are SBs. They are fairly simple, but however, you can still be getting caught out by them. ODA as well. You'll never know if you just do find 200 from some of those. And Log, I do think finding, I think a few 200s there, but it is traded back by Smart AI. Actually dropping 100 as well, which is going to benefit Log pretty well.
Indeed.
There isn't really much audio kind of accompanying where the SVs are, so it might make hitting them a bit more tricky. However, they're fairly simple to combo, so maybe that might not be much of a problem. It probably will definitely come down to the misjudgments other than combo breaking.
Indeed.
So as we do
Log actually being under the 99% mark here.
Yep, both players kind of hanging around that high 98 mark. Again, this map is still more consistent enough. You just kind of have to have to slightly memorize the SBs. Maybe just take 1 or 2 goes for the map just to kind of get yourself, kind of just wrap your head around. Like actually climbing back up to that 99 area, but the map is fairly consistent. Again, it's just mostly trills and rolls accompanied by LNs of any length, short, long, pretty much any LN length, and well, you've got it. The scores are actually still very close as well, so anything can still happen.
Indeed, there is not a much mistake margin here. I mean, if Log does get a miss here, this can really benefit Smart AI here.
Yep. Smart AI actually hitting a couple of those notes, hitting slightly early. Oh, and a burst is gonna tank their accuracy significantly, finding a lot of 200s and even 100 as well. I did see from there. Now it's still not too late. We still have a good bit of the map left, so anything can still happen. But with that 11k point difference, the chances are fairly slim, especially that it's just mostly going to be the conclusion where we're not really going to be seeing much more of those rolls. We'll just kind of be seeing more of that kind of repeating trail patterns with some light rolls, and yeah, that is going to be the second map done. Log taking that breakpoint, going to give them a hefty step up.
Indeed. So we're already 2 points in the match, and Log actually taking them. So not the greatest start for Smart AI, though it does its best. I mean, it does FCs both maps for now. It's just the accuracy.
Yep. So kind of just seeing more of a pattern that you know, Log definitely has a significant rate MA advantage over Smart AI, can be, which can actually be fairly, you can fairly take your advantage with that. Picking something like, I'd even say Rice Fight, just kind of more pure ratio battle. Also Rice Free as well would be pretty good for a ratio battle as well. So not really a bad pick for Log again.
Don't forget there is some 160 BPM jack, so those can definitely make you trip up if you're not careful enough. So we might not see both players FC this map, but I do guess we'll have to wait and see.
Again, we have seen this. We have seen most of these maps played from our previous match. So for anyone who has still been watching since the start, you'd be fairly familiar with some of these maps, or even if you are playing and just deciding to watch. So Smart AI, I do believe, dropping at 200 near the start. However, just because it's kind of a bursty map, and just seeing how these players do, I'm hopefully it shouldn't really be affecting both players much, as I don't think we will be getting too much very close score differences in a map like this.
Indeed. Though I do notice here Smart AI creating quite early, and it does surprise me because he also does have a really fast score speed, and still with a score speed this fast, hitting early, I don't know what's his skin or his reading capability, but I'm quite surprised though by this the fact that those hits still early, and it does find a break here.
Yep, Smart AI actually finding one of those drops there as well. Hitting kind of early as well. Again, it could just be because of nerves, because nerves typically kind of get you too early rush, which might not be too beneficial on jacks. Log actually finding that trade back miss as well, which at this point, Smart AI can definitely take advantage of that. But just because of the accuracy difference, will it really matter too much? Because still, even with that miss, the score isn't really shifting back towards the other side.
Indeed, with both players actually having only one miss, this score difference is actually only up to accuracy there.
You will be correct in that. So I don't think there's much to say about the outro. Just continuing again the same 3-0 burst rolls and some of the mini jacks as well. Does look like this map is going to be concluding, and yeah, again, no difference. Log just successfully recovering from that miss near the start. So yeah, very significant difference in the score. Log definitely a lot more comfortable with that, with a pick like that. Maybe for smart I would be kind of more obliged to maybe go for probably one of the LNs, maybe even something like LN2, just because um I do think smart AI isn't might not be too confident in maybe some more of the rise picks as we are seeing right now, especially from the stats, and I was correct actually.
Indeed, we're gonna see N2, and I do think this is quite a good pick because on top of being an N pick, this is also quite a slow pick, only 145 ppm. I think definitely that smart AI can take advantage of that. I mean, though I think he will still have trade, maybe for log miss, but we have to wait and see.
You will be correct in that. See, when kind of looking at like these players when they were battling out in the hybrids, they were very like both these scores were very close. So it wouldn't really be much of a surprise for Smart AI to kind of steer towards that LN again, as I do believe they do have fairly better PA on LNs. Well, definitely a lot more two match log, and even then, just a miss can just change a lot of things. But Smart AI actually releasing fairly early to the difference where it is costing them a good few 200 for their liking, being around that 99 mark. So this is a fairly short map as well, so misses will be pretty detrimental again. So it's, again, as I would say about this map, is it is fairly simple to combo. You're just more focusing on the accuracy,
Indeed.
as I did say, and Smart AI actually breaking their combo on one of those LNs, which is not really going to be helping their favor, especially being behind by a significant margin of accuracy as well.
This is really not gonna help them to get the lead back as the lead does continues to grow up.
See, the problem is kind of with muscle memory for LNs is if you kind of have to sweet spot for releasing fairly simple LNs, then you're going to fly through this map, like actually finding a drop near the end. It is more, I would say, definitely a lot more heavy on the LNs, but not really too coordination-esque, especially more staggery. It's more simple LNs, really, but you will kind of have to focus a bit more on, controlling.
Indeed, even though this is an element, this is still kind of straightforward. It's kind of like a density, but a slow density peak, kind of jump stream-esque, as I would say.
I would just say it's more kind of more the wildcard Olympic,
Indeed, this
where
is
it's
kind
just
of
a bit of
special.
everything. Yeah. So now Log does have that match point and going to be picking Rice 4 as well. So here we are, the funky piano map.
Indeed, instant emotion.
Pretty good pick, I would arguably say, for Log, especially kind of more the synergy it does have with Rice. I would say Rice 3 and even LN2 as well. I'd even say Hybrid 1 a small bit as well.
Indeed, we
And the
did
Hybrid 2.
see in a previous match that both players FC this map, but if here both players FC2, my mind is just gonna blow up.
I'm kind of a bit nervous for Smart AI because on a map like this, it is fairly detrimental for early rushing. I do believe dropping a miss at the start, which is not going to be benefiting them. But again, it is at the start of the map, so it isn't going to be too significant. But again, what I'm saying is on a map like this, which is very technical, hitting early, as Smart AI I do believe is doing now, isn't really going to be helping their favor, especially when it comes to more the flams. It is very easy to drop 200s there.
Indeed, and it does get a lot of them. Like his accuracy is not even at this 97% mark, and he does also get the drop, so that's not gonna help him in his favor.
Something pretty detrimental. I will just say this now. Something pretty detrimental will have to happen to Log, i.e., a disconnect, or just the keyboard disconnect. Anything kind of more technical, I would say, as this map is very short, and Swaria has been dropping fairly consistently throughout the map. So, just with a score difference like this, I am not really sure if it would even be possible to make a comeback on this, especially that you're not even in the 900k range.
This might not be the case, though we're getting closer to the ending of the map. You might want to be careful with those bursts at the end, though the lead is already quite big, so even if Log does get some drops there, that's not gonna matter anyway.
Totally. And yeah, I just think that miss near the end is going to be the final nail in the coffin. With just nearly 100k score difference, I do think both players actually hitting that burst at the end. Still pretty impressive. Like actually getting that full combo as well. But again, so Log is going to be having their way into the round of 16's second match conditional. So unfortunately, we will have to be saying goodbye to Smart AI.
I'm actually quite impressed because we're only 2 matches in and already like 3 players got DFC on this map. Like, I couldn't think that could happen. I'm really impatient to see the rest of the matches. That's gonna be really a great weekend to see. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely. So, it's really good job for both players. Again, you're gonna have like everything will basically just happen in tournaments. You'll win some, you'll lose some. You kind of just have to learn off that. And if you're here, if you're here watching that new stream just to see how you did again, hello. So next week, I do believe Log will be facing off again. Hold on. Log will be facing off against the winner of Soulstruck and Ladyman, Seed 14 and Seed 25. So stay tuned for that. As we have seen from last time, as we have seen from Bump and Mean Ben's game, Bump will be facing the winner of our fellow commentator Sparky versus Mine Team. So stay tuned for that as well. It will be happening later on the week. Again, we've only started. Hell, it's even Friday now, so we still have 2 busy days ahead of us.
Indeed. And I think that's it. Do you have anything else to say before we cut off the stream?
No, I do not. So up next, we actually, well, I say not now, but like I lie. Well, I guess we have Yulsils versus Shocked next. So that is happening 12 hours from now. It's going to be happening at 5 a.m. UTC or 6 a.m. UTC. So stay tuned for that.
I'm definitely not saying this much. This is way too early for me. I'm gonna be dead sleeping. But yeah, stay tuned for that if you're awake at this time. So I think we can cut off the stream and tell to you goodbye and see you next match.
Yep, if you're here, thank you for sticking along with us, and we will be seeing you 12 hours from now. So take care. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and hope you enjoyed.